If you want a garden bursting with color from autumn onward, you're in the right place. Let's meet the longest flowering bulbs you can plant this fall. First up, Nerine Bodeni. These bright pink, wavy-petaled flowers bloom when most others fade. Their strap-like leaves appear after the blooms, adding interest through winter. Native to South Africa, they love well-drained, slightly alkaline soil and thrive in USDA zones 7 to 10. Plant in early autumn. Find bulbs at Breck's, Eden Brothers, or your local garden center. Research shows Nerine Bodeni is toxic to pets if ingested. Keep bulbs away from cats and dogs. Next, Colchicum, also called autumn crocus. These goblet-shaped flowers pop up on bare stems in shades of lilac, pink, or white. The leaves arrive in spring, then vanish by summer. Colchicum prefers rich, well-drained soil and grows in zones 4 to 9. Plant in late summer. Look for bulbs at American Meadows or local nurseries. Colchicum is highly toxic to pets and humans. Backed by research, keep all parts away from animals. Cyclamen hederifolium is a woodland wonder. Its delicate pink or white flowers appear before the marbled, heart-shaped leaves. Cyclamen likes humus-rich, slightly acidic soil and shade, thriving in zones 5 to 9. Plant tubers in late summer or early fall. Find them at Eden Brothers or garden shops. Cyclamen hederifolium is toxic to pets, especially dogs and cats. This is well documented in veterinary research. Sternbergia lutea, or autumn daffodil, shines with golden, crocus-like blooms and glossy green leaves. It prefers well-drained, neutral to alkaline soil and grows best in zones 6 to 9. Plant bulbs in late summer. Available at Breck's, American Meadows, or local stores. Sternbergia lutea is considered toxic to pets if eaten. Research recommends planting away from curious animals. Crocus speciosus is a true fall crocus, with lilac-blue flowers and fine grass-like leaves. It's hardy in zones 3 to 8 and grows in most soils, as long as they drain well. Plant corms in early autumn. Shop for them at Eden Brothers, Breck's, or your favorite nursery. Crocus speciosus is generally pet-safe, but always double-check the species. Research shows spring crocus can be toxic, but this autumn crocus is not. For all these bulbs, healthy plants start with healthy soil. Look for organic compost and fertilizers from Espoma, Dr. Earth, or Miracle Grow at your local garden center or online. Ready to get started? Choose your favorites, plant them this season, and enjoy months of continuous color. Your garden's next chapter begins now. Planting long-flowering bulbs extends your garden's color into fall and winter, keeping it vibrant when most plants fade. These bulbs support pollinators late in the season and need little maintenance. Just plant and enjoy. With long-flowering bulbs, your garden stays beautiful and lively through the cold months. Before we dive into the specific types of bulbs you can plant, it's essential to understand one of the most critical tools for gardening success: the USDA Plant Hardiness Zone Map. This map is a fundamental resource that helps gardeners determine which plants are most likely to thrive in their specific location. It divides the United States and Canada into numbered zones based on the average annual minimum winter temperature. Each zone represents a 10-degree Fahrenheit range, with lower numbers indicating colder climates and higher numbers indicating warmer ones. Knowing your zone is the first step in selecting plants that can survive your local winter conditions. Why does this matter so much for fall-planted bulbs? Because these bulbs need to endure the winter underground before they can emerge and bloom. If you plant a bulb that is not hardy enough for your zone, it may freeze and die during the coldest months, resulting in a disappointing lack of flowers come blooming season. Conversely, some bulbs require a period of cold dormancy, known as vernalization. If you live in a very warm climate and plant a bulb that needs a significant cold spell, it may fail to bloom properly. The USDA zone recommendations provided for each bulb in this guide will act as your roadmap to success. Using the USDA Plant Hardiness Zone Map is quite simple. You can easily find your zone by visiting the official USDA website and entering your zip code. The map is color-coded, making it easy to see which zone your area falls into. For example, a gardener in Minneapolis, Minnesota is in Zone 4B, where winter temperatures can plummet to minus 25 degrees Fahrenheit. In contrast, a gardener in Charleston, South Carolina is in Zone 9A, with minimum winter temperatures rarely dropping below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. These vast differences in climate dictate entirely different planting possibilities. which is why zone information is so crucial for making informed choices. Throughout this guide, we will specify the ideal USDA zones for each long-flowering bulb we discuss. This information will empower you to select varieties that are perfectly suited to your garden's climate, dramatically increasing your chances of achieving a long and beautiful bloom period. Paying close attention to these recommendations will save you time, money, and frustration. It is the foundation upon which a successful multi-season garden is built. By understanding and working with your specific climate conditions, you are setting yourself and your bulbs up for a spectacular and long-lasting floral display that will brighten your garden for months. Our first featured performer in the long-blooming category is the stunning Nerine Bodeni. Commonly known as the Guernsey lily, or spider lily. This plant is a true gem for the autumn garden. Originating from South Africa, it brings an exotic and elegant flair to landscapes just as other flowers are beginning to fade. Its most striking feature is the cluster of vibrant pink, trumpet-shaped flowers. They sit atop tall, leafless stems. These blossoms seem to erupt from the bare earth in late September and October, creating a breathtaking and unexpected splash of color. The petals are often wavy and recurved, giving them a delicate, almost ethereal appearance that sparkles in the low autumn sunlight. The unique growth cycle of Nerine Bodeni is what makes it such a valuable addition to a multi-season garden. Unlike many plants, its foliage appears after the flowers have finished their show. The long, strap-like leaves emerge in late autumn or early winter and persist through to the following spring, gathering energy for the next year's bloom. This means the plant offers visual interest for an extended period, first with its show-stopping flowers, and then with its lush green foliage. This characteristic makes it a fantastic plant for bridging the gap between fall color and the first signs of spring life, ensuring your garden beds never look completely empty or dormant during the colder months. Guernsey lilies are best suited for USDA hardiness zones 7 through 10. In these regions, they can be grown as reliable perennials, returning year after year with an increasingly impressive display. For gardeners in colder zones, such as Zone 6, nerines can still be enjoyed, but they require a bit more care. They can be grown in containers that are brought into a protected, frost-free location for the winter, or planted in a very sheltered spot with a thick layer of winter mulch. Their ability to adapt to container culture makes them a versatile choice for patios, balconies, and small space gardens, allowing more people to enjoy their late-season splendor. The story behind its common name, Guernsey lily, is quite fascinating. Legend has it that bulbs washed ashore on the island of Guernsey from a shipwrecked vessel returning from South Africa. The bulbs took root in the sandy soil and flourished, earning their now famous moniker. This tale speaks to the plant's resilience and its ability to thrive in well-drained conditions. When you plant Nerine Bodeni, you are not just adding a beautiful flower to your garden. You are planting a piece of history and a symbol of nature's incredible ability to adapt and find a home in new and unexpected places. This adds another layer of enjoyment to cultivating these special bulbs. Our next long-flowering autumn star is colchicum, a plant that often causes delightful confusion in the garden. Commonly known as autumn crocus, these bulbs produce flowers that look like spring crocuses, but belong to a completely different plant family. They are also called naked ladies because large, goblet-shaped flowers emerge from the soil on bare stems in fall. This sudden, dramatic appearance makes them a late-season showstopper. Blooms range from pristine white, soft pink, deep lilac, rich purple, and give a bright pop against fallen leaves and fading perennials. The life cycle explains the naked lady's name. In spring, the plant sends up large, broad leaves resembling hosta leaves or a small cabbage. Those leaves gather energy and store it in the underground corm. By midsummer, the foliage yellows and the plant disappears. Then, when you least expect it, flowers push up in September and October, creating a magical display that can last for weeks. Colchicums are hardy and adaptable across many climates. Best in USDA zones 4-9, covering much of the country. Gardeners in cold regions like the Midwest Northeast can grow them as reliably as those in milder areas. Their winter hardiness proves their resilience. They return and multiply for years with minimal fuss. Important: All parts of colchicum are toxic if ingested. It contains colchicine. That toxicity also makes them unattractive to pests like deer squirrels, rabbits. Handle with care and plant away from curious pets and children. The name comes from Colchis on the Black Sea, a region tied to the sorceress Medea in Greek myth, a dramatic origin for a potent plant. We now turn our attention to a truly enchanting and resilient plant for the autumn and winter garden. Cyclamen hederifolium, often called hardy cyclamen or ivy-leaved cyclamen. This species is a world away from the frost-tender florist's cyclamen, native to the woodlands and rocky areas of the Mediterranean. A tough, long-lived perennial that creates a magical carpet of color and texture. Its charm begins in late summer or early autumn. Delicate, nodding flowers emerge on slender stems. They appear before the leaves. Bloom colors, pink, magenta, pure white. Petals elegantly swept back. They look like a fleet of tiny, hovering butterflies above the soil. Multi-season interest extends far beyond initial bloom. After the floral show, the plant produces exquisite foliage. Heart-shaped leaves, ivy-shaped leaves, leaves often patterned with silvery green marbling. Foliage emerges in autumn and persists through winter and into spring. Creates lush ground cover when most other plants are dormant. From first flower in autumn to last leaf in spring. Nearly 9 months of continuous appeal. Hardy in USDA zones 5 through 9. Prefers shady spots. Perfect beneath deciduous trees. Also great under large shrubs. Over time it naturalizes and spreads by seed. Forms extensive, breathtaking colonies. Imagine a woodland floor in late autumn, blanketed with silvery leaves and dotted with jewel-like pink and white flowers. They ask for very little once established. They give back so much year after year. Perfect low-maintenance ground cover. Our journey through the longest flowering autumn bulbs now brings us to a truly radiant specimen, Sternbergia lutea. Often called the autumn daffodil, winter daffodil, lily of the field, this plant puts out brilliant cup-shaped flowers in the most cheerful golden yellow hue you can imagine. These blossoms appear in early to mid-autumn, creating a stunning contrast with muted autumn tones, orange, red, brown. The flowers themselves look a lot like spring crocus, but they're bigger and a bit more substantial, standing proudly on short stems. This burst of vibrant sunny yellow in the autumn garden is a delightful surprise. It really lifts the spirits and brings a bit of springtime warmth to the cooling landscape. It's a cracking choice if you're after a bold splash of bright color. Sternbergia lutea has a distinct growth habit that adds to its value across the seasons. The glossy, dark green, strap-like leaves start to emerge at the same time as the flowers, or just after. Unlike a lot of other autumn-blooming bulbs where the flowers pop up on bare stems, the foliage of Sternbergia creates a lush green base that really shows off the golden blooms. This foliage sticks around all winter and well into spring, working away at photosynthesis to store up energy for next year's display. So you get a long season of interest, first from the flowers and then from the attractive grass-like leaves that keep the garden looking full and lively, even in the coldest months. This plant is native to the Mediterranean region and parts of Central Asia, which gives us some clues about its preferred growing conditions. It thrives where summers are hot and dry and winters are cooler and wetter. That makes it a great pick for gardeners in USDA hardiness zones 6 through 9. It'll grow as a reliable, long-lived perennial and, over time, will naturalize to form larger, more impressive clumps each year. If you're gardening in colder areas, like Zone 5, you can still have a go, but you'll need to pick a sheltered spot and lay on a heavy winter mulch to help the bulbs survive the harsher cold. This plant also has a rich history. Many biblical scholars reckon it's the lily of the field mentioned in the Sermon on the Mount, which adds a nice layer of historical and cultural significance. Planting Sternbergia lutea means you're not just adding a beautiful flower to your garden, but also connecting with a plant that's been admired for its beauty and resilience for thousands of years. Its knack for thriving in rocky, tough terrain is a testament to its hardy nature, making it a symbol of hope and brightness just as the days start to shorten and the world grows a bit darker. Our final pick in this guide to long-flowering fall bulbs is the delightful and vigorous Crocus speciosus. While colchicum is often called autumn crocus, Crocus speciosus is a true crocus that blooms in fall. It's a spectacular sight to behold. It produces loads of elegant chalice-shaped flowers. Lilac blue, violet, darker veining, a brilliant fiery orange stigma. These exquisite flowers show up in early to mid-autumn. Sometimes they carry on into the early days of winter. They create a haze of cool color across the landscape. Smaller and more delicate than colchicum, but they make up for size in sheer numbers, often forming a dense, breathtaking floral carpet. The growth cycle differs from colchicum. Slender, grass-like leaves pop up very late, usually after the flowers or as they start to fade. The foliage is fine and unobtrusive. It sticks around through winter and dies back in late spring. That gives the corms time to recharge for next year. Their late-season flowers and leaves add life during the garden's quietest months. Crocus speciosus is hardy and vigorous, thrives across USDA zones 3 through 8. Even gardeners in cold northern regions can grow and multiply them reliably. They tolerate acidic soils, neutral soils, alkaline soils. That resilience makes them easy and rewarding for gardeners of all skill levels. Minimal care, long-lasting display. Crocus speciosus is non-toxic, unlike colchicum. But they are a favorite snack for squirrels, chipmunks, other rodents. Keep that in mind when planting. To protect corms, you may need preventative measures. Show bulb cages /mesh/planting tips. Despite that, their beauty and tendency to spread make them a must-have for a low-maintenance naturalistic display, extending the flowering season into colder months and giving a final flourish before winter. Throughout this guide, we have journeyed through a select group of remarkable plants that defy the traditional gardening calendar. We have explored the exotic pink trumpets of Nerine bodeni, the surprising naked chalices of colchicum, the enchanting silver-leafed carpets of Cyclamen hederifolium, the brilliant golden glow of Sternbergia lutea, and the vigorous violet-blue haze of the autumn crocus, Crocus speciosus. Each of these bulbs offers a unique gift to the gardener, the promise of continuous color and life when the rest of the landscape is preparing for a long winter slumber. They transform the act of fall gardening from a task of tidying up into an exciting act of creation and anticipation for the months ahead. The primary benefit of planting these long-flowering bulbs is the profound extension of your garden's season of interest. Your outdoor space no longer needs to shut down after the last summer annuals fade. Instead, it can become a stage for a new and captivating performance, one that unfolds through the crisp days of autumn and often persists deep into the winter. This continuity of blooms provides a vital source of joy and natural beauty during the darker, colder months. It serves as a powerful reminder of nature's resilience and its perpetual cycles of growth and renewal. By choosing these marathon bloomers, you are making a strategic decision to maximize your garden's potential and your own enjoyment of it. This approach to gardening also fosters a deeper connection with the subtle rhythms of the seasons. You learn to appreciate the low autumn light that makes the pink petals of Nerine sparkle and the way the silvery leaves of Cyclamen catch the winter frost. It encourages a more thoughtful and holistic view of your garden as a dynamic, year-round ecosystem. Planting these bulbs is an investment in future beauty, an act of faith that a small, dormant bulb planted in the cool soil of autumn will emerge weeks or months later to deliver a spectacular and much-needed show of color. It is this forward-thinking aspect of fall planting that many gardeners find so deeply satisfying and rewarding. Ultimately, embracing these long-flowering fall bulbs allows you to craft a garden that is uniquely yours. While neighboring yards may be bare and brown, yours will be alive with pockets of jewel-toned color, a testament to your planning and dedication. This guide has provided the blueprint, showcasing the possibilities that await when you look beyond conventional spring-blooming varieties. The enduring beauty of an autumn and winter garden is not a happy accident. It is the result of deliberate choices made in the fall, choices that promise a magnificent and long-lasting floral reward. As we have seen with each of our featured bulbs, from Nerine to Crocus speciosus, a few core principles of care are fundamental to achieving success. The most critical and universal requirement is excellent drainage. Every one of these bulbs is susceptible to rot if left to sit in waterlogged soil. Before you plant anything, take the time to assess your soil and amend it if necessary. Horticultural grit, coarse sand, organic compost. These amendments create a light, porous structure that allows water to move freely. That single step is the most important foundation for long-term bulb health. The second key strategy is choosing the right location, with a particular focus on sunlight. Cyclamen, thrive in shade. Sternbergia, Demand full hot sun to bloom. Read each bulb's light requirements and observe sun and shade patterns in your garden. A third pillar is respecting the plant's natural life cycle, especially the foliage. Leaves before, during, or after flowers are the plant's engine. They create and store energy for next year's blooms. Don't cut foliage until it has turned yellow and withered on its own. Finally, remember proper planting depth and timing. Shallow planting for nerine. Shallow planting for cyclamen. Deeper planting for Sternbergia. After planting, a hands-off approach is best. Avoid overwatering and unnecessary fertilizing, providing great drainage, choosing the right site, respecting the foliage, planting correctly. These core strategies set the stage for a thriving, low-maintenance, multi-season garden. Now that you are armed with the knowledge of which bulbs to plant and how to care for them, the next step is the most exciting one: taking action. This guide is more than just a collection of information. It is an invitation. It is an invitation to step outside this autumn, to feel the cool air, and to connect with the soil. It is an invitation to plant with purpose and with an eye toward the future, to create a garden that will surprise and delight you during the seasons when you least expect it. The satisfaction of seeing those first flowers push through the earth in late autumn is a unique joy that every gardener deserves to experience. Your fall planting journey begins now. Do not be intimidated if you are new to gardening or have never planted fall bulbs before. The plants we have discussed are remarkably resilient and forgiving. Start small if you feel overwhelmed. Choose just 1 or 2 varieties that are well suited to your USDA zone and garden conditions. A small clump of Crocus speciosus in the lawn. A few Cyclamen hederifolium tubers under a favorite tree. The most important thing is simply to begin, to get your hands dirty, and to participate in this magical process. As you plan your fall planting, think like an artist. Consider how you can layer these different bulbs to create a succession of blooms. Colchicum for an early autumn show. Sternbergia for a burst of mid-autumn gold. Cyclamen, whose foliage and late flowers will carry you through the winter. Think about color combinations and how the delicate lilac of a crocus might look against the golden leaves of a nearby shrub. This is your opportunity to paint a living picture, one that evolves and changes over many months, offering new vignettes of beauty from September through March. We encourage you to embrace the unique opportunity that the fall planting season provides. It is a quieter, more contemplative time in the garden, a perfect moment for setting the stage for future splendor. The work you do now, in just a few hours on an autumn weekend, will pay you back tenfold with months of beautiful, long-lasting blooms. So gather your tools, acquire your bulbs, and accept this invitation to cultivate a garden that doesn't just survive the colder months, but truly shines during them. We wish you the best of luck on your planting adventure and a garden filled with continuous color. For high-quality bulbs and natural gardening products, consider shopping at trusted retailers like Breck's, Eden Brothers, and American Meadows. Local garden centers and nurseries are also excellent sources. For organic soil amendments and fertilizers, look for brands such as Espoma, Dr. Earth, and Miracle Grow. Shopping at reputable stores ensures healthy plants and a thriving garden.